Shalom, 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 Yasha Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamar Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called, The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, shall preserve thee from all evil. Right? The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, shall preserve thee from all evil. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Kohala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechach Radash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahushai. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rechach Radash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right. Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called, The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. All right. And I was, brother at the, from the camp had showed us this video. He had got it while we were, after we had taught or whatever, we saw it, and I just kind of watched it, right, fully. Well, not fully, but most of it. When I got home, and just watching, this whole interaction, all right, and understanding, we literally, put our lives on the line, man. When we go out here in the highways and hedges, it's a serious deal, all right? It's a serious deal that we're doing, all right? But we have to put our trust and our faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, that he's got us, okay? And I want to play, some of this, and then I'll get a couple of scriptures. All right, so let's just get into it. Salakia. Let me see if I might have to rewind.
You shut the fuck up. I'm reading about the tribe of the Native Americans. You think this is a fucking joke? You're drunk.
So my man comes up and he cocks the little blicky, while my man is out here trying to read these, the scriptures, all right, trying to read the word, all right, and I seen other brothers do videos on it, and one of the brothers from the Buffalo, GMS Buffalo, he was on point. He talked about it in our live camp. He talked about how we were talking about be circumspect, okay. Because the times are evil, all right? And, literally, this happened, well, now it's the new day, but, well, not new day, but it's, this happened at his camp, all right? So let's just play this real quick. Salakia for all the rambling. Yeah, but, he comes up, calls him, the GER,
Calm down. Drunk. They buy 22 Division. Drunk. I don't give a fuck, nigger. I'm a fucking gangster. Okay? Okay? And you're here fucking talking about fucking naval, tribal fucking things? You see this? This is live. I don't give a fuck.
Right? So he's literally trying to read. This man is all up in his face. And, those who've been out on the highways and hedges, you sense people, you sense some of the spirits and demons out there. You can see them, right? They're walking back and forth, right, with that evil eye, all right? You'll see these different things, and it was the same thing. Like when you watched the video earlier, right, and this is from the voice of Jacob serving Yahushai, right? When you watch it earlier, he points it out. He's like, yeah, you're coming with a different spirit. What is it? What do you want? Do you have anything? Is it about the scriptures? If not, just move on. All right. And then all of a sudden, he pulls the little blicky out of his jacket. All right. And it's flashing it and toting it and cocking it and doing all these different things. All right. And so the brother's getting on. So I'm just going to play a little bit more of it. Salakia.
You see this? This is how it is. This is how it is for us when we come out here. Hey, this reminds me of Victoria and Dundas. Oh, for
And this is the thing. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, we go out in these highways and hedges, man. Right? Only Yahweh by Shemel Shai knows at the end of the day. All right? And we literally go out there and we put our lives on the line. All right? To what? To preach this gospel. To preach the good news. All right? To rebellious people. To, you know, you got all types of people out there. You got demons. All right? You got, you know, sheep that'll hearken. Right? But you have demons. You got rebelliousness. You got all types of stuff, man, going on. All right? So let's keep playing.
you, right? You're a fucking black man. You're talking about my fucking people?
But we're brothers. If you are a Gadite, we are actually brothers, and this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I come to you and I ask you.
You're not listening.
Shut up.
No, I don't. I'm trying to teach you.
You don't need to shut up?
Yo, bro. Yo, bro. Yo, bro.
Now, I don't know if you heard that sound. Hey, but, you know, and you'll see, right? You know, the brother, man, came out on top, all right? And he was putting, you could hear the sounds of that man putting them hands on him, okay? Let's rewind that, Salaki.
Grab your hammer and bust your face. We are actually brothers, and this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I come to you and I ask you.
You're not listening.
Shut up.
No, I don't. I'm trying to teach you.
You don't need to shut up?
Yo, bro. Yo, bro. Yo, bro. Grab your hammer and bust your face. Bitch ass. Bitch ass. Yo, bitch ass. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. You know who you're talking to? I'm fucking crazy. You don't know me. Now you're leaking. You should have been speaking. Now you're fucking leaking. Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass. Don't ever come up here and disrespect my shit. Now you're all leaking. Get the fuck out of here. Now I took your gun. What are you gonna do? Now I took your gun. Now I can...
Right, so he wrestled the gun from the man. All right? You know, he was calm about it. The guy was putting the gun all in his face, doing this and that. All right? And he was calm about the situation. He found an opportunity, man, and took him down. And then you hear him pounding. All right? He you know, is he's putting work on that man's face, man. All right? If you hear it, you know, you might have to rewind this video and hear that sound again, you know, but he ended up taking the gun, right? And then he ended up telling them who he is, right? Let's keep going.
Fuck you up. Who's the bitch? Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Yo, your gun is fucking unloaded. You're a fucking buster too. Fucking wankster.
Right. And it turned out that the gun was a, what was it? Like a BB gun or an air pistol or something. All right. You know, but he came up brashing, and he, like I say, the brother said, you know, he didn't know what it was, you know. All you know is this man has a gun, waving it in front of your face, man. All right? Trying to be tough. All right? But you don't know who you're being tough in front of, man. All right, let's keep going.
Fucking wankster. Fucking homo thug. Bitch, nigga.
You told me you fucking
You're a bitch.
attack us.
You're a fucking bitch.
Yeah, but before you...
Bitch. Get the fuck out of here.
Hold on.
Get the fuck out of here.
You attacked Buddy.
Get the fuck out of here.
He came to me, I came
Get
to you.
the fuck out of here. Know who you're messing with.
And then you got Esau, you know, with his little tears. Now he came up the aggressor, and now here he is on the ground, leaking, you know, crying his little tears, alligator tears, man. You know, trying to explain, all right, with, you know, a whole bloody face going on. All right, let's keep going.
Not from the fucking streets. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Now you're leaking.
Turn the way.
Hey, everybody, look at this punk. Fucking putting guns to my head. You know who the fuck I am? I'm a fucking servant of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know who I am?
Right, hold on. That's the point I wanted. All right, let's rewind that.
Yeah, you see, we're not leaking.
Turn the way.
Hey, everybody, look at this punk. Fucking putting guns to my head. You know who the fuck I am? I'm a fucking servant of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know who I am?
All right. He said, I'm a servant of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Right? You don't know who you messing with. All right? Right? You don't know who you're messing with. All right? You know, the title of the lesson that I'm doing, all right, let's you see him on there on the ground, right? He was real tough and talking, and you see where it ended him up at, all right? He's on the ground, all right, you know, painting the pavement, right, with his blood. Okay? Let's get to the scriptures. All right. Let's go to let's get to this one real quick. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 121. All right. Let's get to it. Psalms chapter 121. And matter of fact, we'll start at verse 1. All right. Psalms chapter 121 and verse 1, it says, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, which made heaven and earth. All right. Hey, there's not many people who can claim that, man. All right. Your help cometh, all right, from the most high power. All right. The one true most high power, man. And his name is Yahweh. All right. Who made heaven and earth. All right. So it says, my help cometh from Yahweh Shem Shai, which made heaven and earth. Right? It says, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Okay? Hey, the Lord doesn't need to take a rest. All right? Hey, you're out there on the highways and hedges. All right? And the Lord has his angels around you. All right? Guess what? Throughout all the time, all right? He doesn't sleep, all right? It says, behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. It says, Yahweh Shem Shai is thy keeper. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is thy shade upon thy right hand. All right, I'm just going to just read this down, all right? Because I love, Psalms 121 is fire. It says, the sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. It says, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai shall preserve thee from all evil. All right, and you just witnessed that right there. Okay, that man came up there, you know, wanting to smoke. The man was trying to be Pete. They just go about, you know, listen, if you don't have a question about it, then just go about it, right? And what did he do? He got all up in his face. All right, and what happened? It says, and the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh Shem Shai shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, and from this time forth and even forevermore. Okay? The Lord is going to protect his. All right? He's not going to suffer his, all right, to be harmed. All right? When we go to, what's the 2nd Ezra 9? All right? It talks about the elect, man. All right? 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and let's see. Matter of fact, let's jump down. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 20. It says, so I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. All right. And this man thought he had, you know, he got a gun. All right. He think he's doing something. All right. And what happened? Hey, that weapon was taken away from him. All right. And guess what? You know, he got his whole face caved in. All right. Verse 21, and it says, and I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster. All right. Talking about the elect. All right. Is a grape of the cluster. A cluster of the grapes. Right. He's preserved. All right. And it says, in a plant of great people. Okay. It says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, right? So many people are going to perish, all right? But what? His elect? It said, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Okay, the Lord is going to, preserve his elect. Okay, because there's an elect, Israel, or is Yahweh Shemel Shai's chosen people, right? But even of them, there's an elect of them. Okay, and the Lord is utilizing them, and he's going to preserve them. All right, and they're going to escape these sad perils, man. Okay, the Lord is going to protect his. All right, he's going to protect them. Those who are out here doing this work. All right, but this is the thing, you got to understand that, there's a lot of danger. All right, when we go out to the highways and hedges, people think it's a game. All right, but ultimately we have Yahweh Bashim El Shai as our protection. Okay. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse number 73. It says, Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. It says, Hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Okay, and that's what we understand. And the Lord is going to deliver his, right? And I did a lesson earlier this week about that, man. The Lord got you, man. Yahweh Bashim El Shai has got you. Okay? It says, Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh, the Most High, Yahweh Bashim El Shai, is your guide. Okay? You have a personal guide, all right, that's guiding you through these evil times and these evil perils, all right? And you see that being manifested, in that video, all right? The Lord was guiding that man, okay? He didn't panic. He didn't get, it wasn't high or low, right? The man was all up in his face, and he, waited for that opportunity, right? Seized that weapon from him, all right? And beat the brakes off of him and took it from him. All right, you watch the video, he comes back and he's all in the camera, face all bloody. Well, listen, somebody told, want to come with his whole scheme of lie, this, that, and the other. Okay. But the Lord preserved him, man, and these are the things, that to understand that we go out on these highways and hedges and it's dangerous, man. All right. It's a dangerous thing, but it's what we're obligated to do. Okay. What does it say in the book of Romans? We can get that real quick. Book of Romans, the 12th chapter, in the first verse. Salakia. It did not. Let me try that again. Romans 12. 1. All right, it says, Romans chapter 12, verse 1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, right? And that's mercy, man. All right? That's mercy. The Lord is showing mercy unto his elect, man. All right? You see that, like I say, we don't know if we're of the elect, all right? But the men on the highways and hedges, all right, who are preaching this gospel and this truth, understand that, the Lord has you, and the Lord is being merciful for you to even send you out there. All right. The scripture says, I send you out. I'm going to get that in a second, as sheep amongst wolves. Okay. But it says, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. All right. Understand that you're a living sacrifice out there. All right. Holy and acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. All right. That's your reasonable duty out there, is to be a living sacrifice, to go out to these highways and hedges, to make these, these lessons, to preach, the gospel of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. All right, that's a reasonable service, is to give your body as a living sacrifice, man. Okay, and and it comes with the dangers, that you might not make it home, man. All right, that's how serious it is. Right? And people really don't understand. All right. Other people don't really understand unless you're out there, right? And you see the things, Brothers can tell you all types of stories of things that have happened out there on the highways and hedges, man. All right? And the Lord, and they can also tell you how the Lord has preserved them. All right? Has preserved their soul. Okay? Salakia. Let's go to I said Matthew, right? Let's get that. Matthew 10 and what is it, 16? Matthew chapter 10 and verse number 16, it says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." Okay? You know? And it says, "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." All right? You know, and that's a saying. The man, he didn't go out. You know, I was watching, you know, your boy Deacon, you know, or Priest Sakai, whatever his name is now. You know, he, you know, going his little commentary. That's why we need guns on the highways and hedges. All right, that's why you should have your weapon to your side. Well, listen, that this just showed you, hey, it doesn't matter if you have a weapon. You know, it matters if you have your Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, because guess what? That man had a weapon and tried to brandish it and do all that, and what happened? It got taken away. All right, and he got the brakes beat off of him. All right, because he didn't know who he was messing with. Right, he was messing with a servant of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai at the end of the day. Okay, and understanding that, you know, what does it say? In the book of Isaiah, and brothers was talking about it, you know, after camp. You know, we had heard a little bit about it, and one of the first things that came to my mind was Isaiah 54 and verse number 17. It says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise up against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn." Okay, and what did that man do? He wrote, "Yeah, you gur, right? What are you telling me?" You know, doing all that. And guess what? He got dealt with. Okay? It says, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. What did he say? You don't know who you messing with, right? I'm the servant of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, "And their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai." All right, B'Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. All right, understand that, man. All right, we're of the Lord. Okay, and the Lord said what? Let's get I have a lot of precepts, but I'm not gonna make this too long. Right? Let's get Proverbs 34 and. Matter of fact, before I get that, right? Because we got to understand, you know, what we're, you know, when we go out there, right? People don't count that cost of what it is to go out there. All right, you know, Deuteronomy chapter 20, and let's get to the point. I think it's 8, Salakia. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 8, and it says, "And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint?" Now, this is going into war, okay? The laws concerning war, okay? Let's see. I'll start at verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1, it says, "When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them. For the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, thy power is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt." Okay, you got to remember that. All right, it doesn't matter. All right, I did that lesson. You know, it's nothing to the Lord to shut up many by few. Okay, and the Lord has done that, you know, often. Okay, let's jump to verse 4. It says, "For Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you." Okay, understanding. All right, and when we go out on the highways and hedges, these are spiritual battles that we're going out. That's why I say you got to be girded. All right, you got to put on the breastplate of salvation. the helmet, right, or the helmet of salvation. So like if I'm, mixing it up, all right. But you got to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, okay. Verse number 8, 20 and verse 8, and it says, and the officer shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brother's heart faint as well as his heart. Okay, so if if you're fearful, man, you need not go out into these highways and hedges. Okay, you need not go out there. All right, if you're fearful and faint-hearted, all right, the law is you shouldn't be going out there. Okay, because guess what? You could turn your brother's heart faint. All right, and have him fearful out there. Right, and I can attest. I've been out there on the highways and hedges when I first went out. With the zeal, and then you get out there and you have people, man, who are fearful, man. It's not a good thing to be out there. All right, because they're out there fearing. All right, and you're trying to concentrate and do the work, and you got people who are scared, man. Like, and it's not good, right? Imagine that in war. All right, that you get caught up. And you have somebody fearful, right? You over here in the trenches and you look next to you and it's a guy over here crying. I don't want to be, what? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand what we in, okay? But you have to understand too that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has got you, all right? Let's get this one and then I'll probably close it on Psalms 34. Let's get 2 Timothy. Right, 2 and verse number 3. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushai Hamashiach. It says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Okay, and as a soldier, you're given orders to go out to the highways and hedges, all right, and to compel those to come into the marriage. All right, to go out there to those of the captivity and speak, thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and give them warning. Okay, and when you're out there, you can't be concerned about the things of the world because you just see the video of what just happened. All right, if you sit up here concerned about something else and you got a guy up here coming with a weapon, man. All right, you got to understand this. You got to, goes back to what the brother has said. You got to be circumspect out here, man. All right. Your enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right? Understand, okay? But if you understand, too, that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has got you. All right? Let's get that. Let's end it on Psalms 34. And let's go to verse number 7. No, Salakia. Let's start at verse number 4. All right, it says, I sought the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. All right, and in understanding that we got to fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, because he's bringing all these things upon us. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to verse 11, right? Psalms chapter 34 and verse 11, it says, come ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? We have to fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? When you have that fear, hey, you'll go out there on the highways and hedges. All right? You'll go and you'll do these lessons to edify and feed the sheep. Okay? Let's keep going. Verse number 15, right? And Psalms 34 too is fire too. All right, the book of Psalms is fire too. Just put it out there. Psalms chapter 34 verse 15, it says, the eyes of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. Okay. Verse number 17. It says, the righteous cry, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Okay? And he could have been in his mind, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, please help me. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, please, just in his mind. All right? And the Lord, heard him? right? Gave him that spirit to, overcome his enemy, right? And take his weapon away from him. All right. So when you got somebody like Deacon say, "Oh, you need a gun out on the highways and hedges, you need something," guess what? It just showed you. Guess what? That's not gonna work either. You need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Reading on, verse number 19. It says, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai delivered them out of them all." Okay. Verse 22, it says, "The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate." All right? Understanding that the Lord has your back, man. At the end of the day, the Lord has your back, and the Lord, will preserve you from evil, man. At the end of the day, and this is that faith, man. All right, that the brothers have when we go out there on the highways and hedges. All right, before you go out, right? When you wake up, you pray. All right, before you go out, all right, you pray. When you come back home, you give thanks, you pray. All right, and you call upon those true names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai at the end of the day. Okay, so I just wanted to do this quick lesson. Lord's will, this was edifying. Right, with that, call on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that brother, is okay, and call on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for all the brothers who are going out to the highways and hedges and preaching this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth. All right, out there on the highways and hedges, and the Lord, preserving, all right, and having us stay 10 toes down and strong for the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in these last days. All right, and the Lord be with us and preserve us, all right, in these times. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Kol Holo Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rechach Radash, peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad, and mighty Shalom to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well to the spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another mighty Shalom to the rest of the elect out there. Stay diligent. All right, to the household of faith, stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying for one another. All right, and understand, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall preserve thee from all evil, and he shall preserve thy soul. All right, and with that, I say a ball, and shalom.